Good Shabbos. One of the parts of the Haggadah that everyone knows is the four sons. And we know one of the sons is the wicked son. What does the Haggadah tell us? How is he wicked? What makes him wicked? There's nothing that the Haggadah tells us about this wicked son other than one detail, one aspect of his wickedness. He says, what is the laws that Hashem has told you to do? He has taken himself out of the community. He says, listen, this is not for me. You guys do this stuff. It's not me. I can take care of myself. I don't need to be part of what the community is doing. And that, already the Haggadah says, is the wicked son. The Rambam says that he brings a bunch of behaviors that stop a person from being able to do tshuva. One of them is a peirush min hatzibur, someone who disconnects from the community. Says the community can do what it wants. I control my own life. I do my own thing. Those kinds of people, when the community are doing the tshuva or doing something together, he's not going to be part of it. So therefore, he loses out in much of the merits associated with community. When Esther, we're coming between Purim and Pesach, Esther is afraid to go to Achashverosh to save the Jewish people at first. And Mordechai says to her, do not think that you're going to get off scot-free. In other words, Esther could have thought the dangers for the Jewish people. They didn't even know I'm Jewish. I could save myself. Unfortunately, I've had someone tell me the other day how his parents were raised by his grandparents who were Holocaust survivors. That he didn't know he was Jewish till 18. The grandparents thought that if something like that could happen again, they didn't want their children to be affected. So they didn't even tell them they're Jewish. There are many such people walking around in Australia whose grandparents were Jewish and they don't even know it. But this is what Mordechai says to Esther, it's not going to work. Do not think that you're going to save yourself. Because at the end of the day, things get found out and you're going to be just as bad as anyone else. Don't think that you, by taking yourself out of the community, can save yourself. This idea is also the theme of the Parsha. The Parsha we begin this week is about the sacrifices that the Jewish people brought into the temple. The most important sacrifice were the daily offerings and the Yom Tov and the Shabbos offerings. And who supported them? Who financed them? And the answer is, the ones that was not the Kohanim. It wasn't some wealthy fellow. It was by the half a shekel of each and every Jew. And it was an obligation even on the poor to participate. Every single person had to participate in this appeal, in the yearly appeal, half a shekel each, because it was important that the sacrifice belonged to every single one. So therefore, even someone who took tzedakah had to get enough tzedakah to give this half a shekel to be part of this communal offering. That is so vital. And therefore, the whole idea when we davening on one hand is such an emotional experience of connectedness to God. When we try to awaken a love and feeling for Hashem, you would think it is the most private of our relationships with Hashem. Nevertheless, the Talmud tells us, and we know this is how Jews have always conducted themselves, that you cannot compare someone who davens themselves to davening with a minyan. When we daven with a minyan, with the community, the prayers are far, far more effective. Why? Because you're davening with everyone. Hashem doesn't look at each and every one of us as, is he worthy for me to give him what he wants? Hashem sees us all as a community and says, hey, the fact that they're here for each other is what I love. To be honest, last week I went to a celebration in Melbourne. My son celebrated completing the entire Shas. And one of the most special things for me was that my son from Florida and my son from Sydney, who has a wife and 3 kids, and the wife and 3 kids also came with him to be there present, to celebrate with their brother. For a parent, that's so important when you see your children being happy for the successes and the achievements of their siblings. That's the most important thing for a parent. And that's what's most important to Hashem, that we participate with each other. We celebrate with each other. We're part of things together. And so that is what we need to bring into our life to be part of the community cannot say it's not my problem, it's not my issue. And we're going to an election. It's important for everyone to vote, and to vote for whom? You could vote on economics, which is better for you. You could vote on environment, which is something you might believe in. But I think as Jews, the most important thing that we vote for is for anti-Semitism and for Israel. The side of politics that is going to be best for fighting anti-Semitism and support of Israel, that's the one who should get your vote. We Jews, I believe, strongly have to be single issue voters because our community depends on it. Am Yisrael depends on it. We have to care for each other. That's how we have to see ourselves voting. And you could see I'm in this place where we're now renovating the shul. And I just want to introduce you to Shane, who's been very involved on a daily basis in making sure the works are going properly, and he's doing it out of the goodness and kindness of his heart voluntarily, just to help the community. This is not the first time he's helped the community. He helps very much in our Helping Hands program, being there, going out to try to help people and helping the community, because that's what it's about. We have to be there for each other. So besides everything else, I'd like to ask everyone to participate financially in this endeavor. And Shane, you have a few words to say?
Sure. Just like a shul, or the shuls around the world, are kind of arms and legs leading up to the soul, which is in Israel. We want to upgrade. We want to go in and get a knee replacement or a hip replacement. And right now, as you can see, we're in the middle. We're at the halfway point. Demolition's finished, and we're going to start renovating. Whatever help you can give us would be great, financially or personally. We'd really appreciate it.
Thanks. Good Shabbos.
Shabbos.